I don't suppose you could give me a sample of your brain tissue for study purposes.
If you've battled this long, your head does need to be examined. Welcome, scholars. This is it. These are the final missions. You will either take the upper hand against Kerrigan, or she will treat you to the back of hers. Now let's be clear on one thing. When you start these missions to Char, you'll see this warning. This warning is serious. Once you go to Char, the rest of the campaign is over. You can't go back and do other missions that you haven't finished yet for achievements or points or whatever. You're moving ahead to do the Gates of Hell, Shatter the Sky or Belly of the Beast, and all in against either Zerg Air or Zerg Ground forces. The first mission is the Gates of Hell. Prince Valerian has gotten cocky and blown the invasion of Char, which is falling apart. Raynor needs to pull together the scattered forces. The mission objectives are to build an army totaling 100 supply, and then destroy 3 Nidus worms. You have 1 small base, and Zerg are all around. There is plenty of supply. Achievements include completing the mission objectives, destroying all 6 spore cannons on normal, some of which are in Zerg bases, and rescuing 10 drop pods on hard. Rescuing, not necessarily keeping them alive. Bolstering your forces by getting these drop pods is pretty important. Here's our base. There are Nidus worms over here. They block the path to a crash site we'll eventually want to reach, which is here. For starters, let's load our bunkers.
Tactical analysis indicates the Zerg greatly outmatch your current forces.
SCV ready.
Putting the medic in lets us hotkey the bunker, and then if we're under heavy attack, we can just select the bunker, stim everything inside, and then the medic inside it instantly heals everything. That's kind of a neat trick.
Alright, let's get out there and find him before the Zerg do.
Not enough minerals.
Sure.
There's a drop pod up here. Our troops have fought through a minimal amount of resistance. Once they get up here, these people come over to our side. Then we can look around for some resources to take.
But where's General Warfield?
That's a spore cannon. You can blast it if you want. These 2 hydralisks here are standing between us and some resources we want to get. So we'll go up to where those little white dots are and tag those resources and get them also. Seeing as we're a little bit low on resources, that can be helpful. We'll reposition these tanks a little up closer to the bunker, and that'll give us some more room in the base, and SCV can support both the bunker and the tank.
Base is under attack.
Here we're doing another rescue. We'll rescue these people, and just because spine crawlers are pestilences, we'll go down and hit it too.
Sending coordinates to a nearby drop pod.
Now here, our main resistance close to the people we're trying to rescue are spine crawlers. We could just drop a mule on the drop pod, and that would activate it. If you drop a mule on a drop pod and there are a lot of Zerg forces nearby, they'll immediately rush and maybe destroy them. But here they do a pincher movement and help us get those spine crawlers. That might have been a little smarter in hindsight.
This factory back to the landing zone and get it building.
Mayday, Mayday, this is General Warfield. My ship has taken terrible, terrible damage.
Well, that's just terrible.
Warfield, to any Dominion ship in range. My ship is down, and we sustained heavy losses. We're holding position, but we need support soon.
We're on our way, General. Just hold on. Can't hear us. The only way we're getting to Warfield is straight through those Nidus worms.
Maybe not.
Some invasion.
You're sure talking a lot, Kerrigan. Maybe the fear you smell is your own.
Another ion cannon there. Whoop, spore cannon.
Let's get into the fight.
Base is under attack.
There's one way
Air
to get
power is
these.
just what we need.
And then the next thing to
Secure
do
this
is get out of
starport.
there, which
Bring it behind our
unfortunately we're not
guns.
going to do quickly as we should. Oh, that cost us a Viking and could have cost us that starport.
You've got another drop pod landing nearby.
Now, long about the time Warfield came down, there was a drop pod on the right. I think we barely got there, but that drop pod can get overrun pretty quickly. Here we want to get to this drop pod up top before it gets overrun.
Our allies' base is under
Having a little trouble getting to our base because of congestion. And lo and behold, we're not paying attention to the fact we're getting overrun on the right side, and we should have bolstered that bunker up and that tank up with some SCVs. We're going to have to go back and deal with this instead of rescue that drop
Sir,
pod.
I read multiple drop pods entering the atmosphere. I don't think you'll have enough time to rescue them all. Not with this much Zerg in the area.
I'm already there.
Our allies' base is under attack.
Okay, ignore the warnings about Warfield's base. That'll never get overrun. You get up there whenever you get up there.
Base is under attack.
A bit slow there.
Our allies' base is under attack. Base is under attack. Our SCVs are under attack.
Commander, the last of the Dominion drop pods have reached the surface of Char.
Looks like we're on our own, boys.
Now, it is possible to attack directly and just head by ground right up the path to the worms. This, however, is
Our
nuts.
allies' base
No
is
sieging
under
of the
attack.
tanks, no Thor barrage, no cloak, no Yamato cannons. That's just slop. Meanwhile, we are going to expand to that little area. We don't really have to do that. As it happens, I like a sneaky approach more than a long, drawn-out waiting in the fight. Let's just drop some Spectres or Ghosts into Warfield's crash site and nuke the worms. We should have hit the spore cannons, though, because they can vector in the Hydralisks.
This is Kate Lockwell reporting live for UNN. Stunning news tonight as massive numbers of Zerg began pulling back to their main hive on the planet Char. While they aren't giving up the worlds they've conquered, most of the aliens appear to be massing near the fiery planet.
What can it mean, Kate?
We really don't know, Donnie. We'll keep you posted with any further developments.
I know what it means, and it ain't good.
For the second mission, you have to make a choice. You have to choose between two different missions. You can either sabotage the Nidus tunnels, so that when you get to the last mission, there are fewer Zerg ground forces, or destroy the orbital nesting platform so that when you get to the final mission, there is almost no air. If you pick Shatter the Sky and attack the platform, then in All In, you'll end up fighting ground forces. If you pick Belly of the Beast and go spelunking, then in All In, you'll be fighting Zerg air forces and a few ground forces. Maybe more than a few. Opinions differ on whether All In ground or All In air is easier. I think it's easier against ground. So here's Shatter the Sky. Our objective is to destroy 4 cooling towers. The Zerg won't like that. Now at this point we've had our base going for a bit, we've built our economy, and we've protected both entrances to our base. We're going to expand down here, and to do that we have to not only move this extra command center down, but we have to build a few extra air forces to what we started with and clear this out.
Is under attack.
Now we're going, and we have some defense up there we need it. We can also expand over to this other area if we want to, and this we would do if we're in for a long day.
Mineral field depleted.
Now usually we don't want to fight our way in like we're doing here. It's not too hard with this particular base because it's lightly defended. Hitting the cooling tower itself takes it down pretty readily. They're not terribly powerful.
There Here she goes. Get clear.
And there are some resources left behind on the platform. Usually it's better just to dash in, hit the cooling tower, and dash out. Take your losses, absorb them, but do a hit and run.
You better move out fast.
Yep.
Commencing bombardment.
What's
Can't hold
this?
them alone.
It's the largest Zerg organism anywhere, and it spews air units.
Rate the waiting orders.
Ooh, owie zowie. And there's the little Hydralisk that couldn't. Sometimes optimism alone just isn't enough. With 2 more platforms to go, it won't take long to finish this up. Now the achievements for this mission are to complete the objectives, not lose a unit to a platform explosion on normal difficulty, and finish in hard in under 25 minutes. We could have done this mission in much less time.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a sad day for us here at UNN. I regret to inform you that last night Donnie Vermillion had himself committed to the Dominion Mental Health Center here on Core Hall. While the nature of his abrupt mental breakdown remains unknown, we do know that he was clad only in his socks and rumored to be in possession of Emperor Mengsk's manifesto and a pound of peanut butter. We wish you all the best, Donnie, and hope for your speedy recovery. In the meantime, I'll be taking over as chief anchor here at UNN. For UNN, I'm Kate Lockwell. Woo! Yes! Woo!
Now Blizzard's game designers are the egg-sucking dogs of dungeon crawlers. They just can't resist making another. And so here we have Belly of the Beast. Here's a map of the dungeon. These are our heroes, Egon Stetman and the boys.
Raiders roll.
Here Raynor will show off his penetrating round, which is handy. Finley will show off his grenade. And Swan will show off his flamethrower, Flaming Betty.
No sooner said than done, cowboy. Just stay behind old Flamin' Betty here and let her take the heat.
Stetman heals everyone.
It's in it for me.
What's up?
Don't no time for chat.
Talk to me. Right between the eyes.
Good work, Jim.
You can count.
Now we're
on
going
me.
to rescue some of the scattered troops down in the cavern and add them to our numbers.
This is it. Swan, I've marked the fault line with a flare. Plant one of those charges near it.
You got it, cowboy.
We gotta defend the charge until it's armed.
In this mission, we're supposed to plant 3 seismic charges to flood the tunnels with lava. We're also supposed to kill the Queen, and the third objective is to escape.
Great spot for Flamin' Betty. Where do you want her, hotshot?
I'd put her somewhere else. Achievements include finishing the objectives, completing on normal without a hero becoming incapacitated, and killing 50 units with 1 penetrator round. You don't want our heroes to become incapacitated, although they can become unincapacitated.
What's up?
Need to snipe a worm.
Right between the.
You're too late.
This is a good spot to get
We need
the
a good
50
spot to
units
hole up, or
achievement.
we're gonna be Zerg chow.
What's up?
Great to see you guys. The cavern ahead is full of worms, so we better be careful.
Now this part is a nightmare. Zigzagging through these tight, narrow tunnels with Canonitis worms all through them, spitting out units.
Oh! We gotta keep moving or they'll crush us. Let's show me. No time for chat, cowboy. What's up? tons of Zerg incoming.
Wow, it can get even worse.
What's the plan? What's up?
What's it?
And at this point, our elegant solution is for Raynor to snipe more than one worm at once.
Another squad is up ahead. The situation sounds dire. Proceed with extreme caution.
Over here! Help us!
Another seismic charge, and now we're moving up here. Oh my heavens, it's an Omega-Lisk! And the Omega-Lisk is going to get the people we're trying to rescue. Do something, do something. This isn't quite as bad as the zigzag through the worms, but it gets there. Here's our final challenge. There are 3 spots here full of eggs, and the queen will pop up out of the ground and then start bursting open the eggs to make things attack us, and we need to attack the queen and protect the seismic charge at the same time. After we knock her down for a while, she'll go down, pop up in another place, go down, pop up in another place, and after dealing with those 3 areas, she'll attack us directly, as with that nasty spell we just saw.
What's the plan?
Once we take her out, we need to run, and at that point it's just a mad dash to get out of the caverns before they flood with lava.
Raiders roll.
The Engineer Corps is moving the Zelnaga artifact to the base of the primary hive cluster. We'll entrench the last of our defenses all around it. Unfortunately, it's going to take some time to charge up the device for a strike against the Queen of Blades. Intel provided by the Mobius Foundation suggests that the Zerg will be attracted by the artifact's pulse emanations. Once it's activated, all nearby Zerg will go into a frenzy trying to reach it.
There's no way we can beat a sustained Zerg attack with what we got left.
The artifact itself may help with that. According to Intel, it can discharge what they're calling an energy nova that should kill any Zerg within its radius.
Whoa.
It takes time to recharge after each use. Otherwise, this would be easy. You'll have to activate the energy nova manually. Fortunately, it pulses on a subsonic frequency, so we'll be immune to its effects.
Be charged or no. I'll take all the help we can get right now, General. Remember, Kerrigan's still out there waiting for us.
How could we forget?
Okay, here's the map for All In, either ground or air, same map. And these maps in this video come from the Team Liquid Liquipedia website.
Commander,
The first minute of this mission is crucial. You have to click very, very quickly to get your production going, get add-ons and upgrades if you're doing that, reposition your tanks and so forth. If you're trying to clear out some rocks to get better tank position later on, or clear out fences to put in planetary fortresses or whatever, because with regard to those fences, the Zerg can go through them and then you'll have a hole. You need to do that all very quickly so that you can get your main strategy going. You don't have much time to salvage the bunkers and get stuff in position. Here we have a force and we have some side disruptors going down to slow down the Zerg, and now we're going to
Seismic disturbance detected.
add tanks.
Worm
We're
inbound.
going to add a lot of tanks to the right side and a lot of tanks to the left side. Sometimes I'll put tanks on the left side in 2 groups, one up there by the ramps and one a little further down by the left side supply depots. The troops are for dealing with Kerrigan, and we keep them up top both because it's easier to get them down to the ramps to intercept her before she hits our tanks, and because they can take care of any Nidus canals that pop up on the ledge there, up on the artifact plateau. Do need to add some supply depots at some point to get up to 200 supply.
Explorer reporting.
And you need to be upgrading.
Yep. You're the boss.
Now our objective in this is just to defend the artifact. Achievements are to do that, to kill 150 Zerg units on normal, and to use the artifact at most once on hard difficulty. Obviously this is the all-in against ground.
Upgrade complete.
Our factories are rallying tanks to each side. There is a school of thought that says that banshees are the key to this along with tanks. That when you see the Nidus worms pop up, you should send banshees over to kill them immediately so they can't spew units. Certainly you can do that. I myself like to do this with just tanks, and I don't care how many worms there are. If I get my tanks out in time, it won't matter.
The Queen of Blades is inbound.
Kerrigan comes in from time to time, more powerful every time she comes.
It's time I took a personal hand in your demise.
We're going to get our troops down and form a line on the concave. Unfortunately, we've let her get close enough to the tanks that she can hit one of them also.
You'll regret that.
Maybe. Now this is their ground.
Keep it up.
You'll notice that there is nothing coming in terms of Zerg air forces. There's this one exception.
Sir, I'm picking up a mass of overlords heading your way. Ready your air defenses.
Once we get that warning, half a minute later, we'll have overlords slowly moving in, try to do a drop in our base. This is probably a good point to use the artifact. Not as soon as you get the warning, because the overlords are still too far out for the artifact to be effective. But once they get into the base or close to the base and start dropping them, just whack them off. Now, did you notice us sending those SCVs out of the base into oblivion? That's because we were capped at 200 supply and we wanted to get some of our supply down so we could build more things. The virtue of patrolling our tank line with a science vessel is that it can repair tanks that the SCVs couldn't get because the tanks might be surrounded by other tanks.
Sure thing.
Now here we'll make a mistake. I like to use the artifact before Kerrigan, just before Kerrigan gets here, to clear out her escort. This escort's going to punish us, and worse, we're going to get stormed and we're not moving out of the storm. We took too long to use the artifact. We're not moving out of the storm at all. We're going to lose this entire ground force and let Kerrigan get close enough to our tanks to storm them before they take her down. And this is nuts. Of course, if you're going for the Aces High achievement, you just not use the artifact and fight her a little more carefully.
He's retreated again. Hold the line.
Well, what's left of it. As it happens, we'll now have to rebuild. So let's see if we can do this correctly. Boom, got him.
Additional supply depots required.
Maybe even did that just a tiny bit earlier.
Roger that.
Or a tiny bit early.
Supply depots required.
Should do it about here. And those people are going to get distracted by an Ultralisk, but they will get out of that storm, and that's important. Stim and attack. Move up to block her from getting to the tanks. We first sent those two Marines forward to hope she'd storm them instead of the main group, but she hit the main group. Get out of that storm. Doing a lot better there. This right here is the essence of my favorite strategy for this game. And that is massive tanks. Massive tank presence. Nothing is coming through that wall. Not all the Ultralisks in the world, not Infestors, not Roaches, nothing's coming through that wall of fire.
This has gone on long enough. Time to die.
Everywhere. Sir, we should activate the artifact's Nova.
Now, usually I think it's bad advice when Matt says that because it seems like he does it a minute or so before Kerrigan arrives. You use the Nova, and then Kerrigan comes with her forces, and that's no good. In this case, this is a real good time to do that. Kerrigan's going to storm these troops. This is the third time she stormed them, and now she's going to storm this tank line, and that's pretty bad. But it doesn't matter because we have now charged the artifact, and things are going to happen. Well, and that's that. But what would All In be like if you went in against air instead? Well, we'd see the Leviathan again, and a lot of other air. Unfortunately, we'd also see ground forces, not the large units, but Zerglings, Hydralisks, and the like. So how would we handle that? Some people swear by hive mind emulators. Lay them all over the ledge up there by the artifact and by the entrances. Capture your own Zerg Air Force for free. But they're awful micro-intensive, and you have to individually target each unit for capture. Some people swear by ghosts with the sight upgrade, put in bunkers with extended range, and those can take down most of the air. That's good, especially when combined with missile turrets and perdition turrets for hitting the ground or fire bats and sight disruptors for slowing things down. Ultimately, you'll need Vikings to hit the Leviathan and the difficult-to-reach Broodlords. As with ground, you need to get engineering bay and armory building upgrades. And you need to plan for Kerrigan. Ghost Snipe works pretty well on her. Broodlords that you've captured with Hive Mind Emulator or the Thor Barrage will stun her and slow her and weaken her while something else takes her down. Be careful about having expensive units near her, and then be sure to save often. Now here's a fun little tactic I like. Look at the mini-map. Walls of planetary fortresses repaired by SCVs with Viking patrols along their outer sides and across the front of the artifact and a group south of the mineral line. You don't have to patrol the entire perimeter, but certainly those areas there. We're going to put a siege breaker in the middle of the base for protection against slippery intruders. Those Vikings aren't doing anything about Kerrigan, but they have stopped patrol, and we're going to have to get them back on patrol. There's our friend, the Leviathan. We could use an artifact blaster if we had it. Oh! A devious spell!
Can't hold him alone.
And now they're back. And we can continue the mission and get to the end, and that's that. Now, turning back to the conclusion of All In the campaign. Do things work out best? Is there a happy ending? Does Raynor walk into the sunset with his sweetheart? Well, no. No, he doesn't. Hold up there, boys. You can't come down here. We're repairing this test chamber.